I'm Giovanni Maccarone. I'm a hypnotist and life, dating, and relationship coach here in Toronto. And I know we've all heard of those coaches, just talk about, just think positive, or, if you can just believe it, you could do it. Who's heard stuff like that before? By show of hands. Okay, so that's not what I do. People come to me when they feel stuck in their dating lives, in their relationships, or they don't feel secure in themselves. And there's three main reasons I found which are keeping people stuck. And I'll tell you the three main reasons. But first, I want to make this fun, and I want to make this interactive, because that's how I do things. So everybody, not get up, but you can stay in your seats. And on the count of three, we're all gonna clap. Just follow me, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's put on the music.
Make sure it's a good jam.
Let's get ready to rumble. Go, 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 Hey! Now, how's everybody feeling?
Energized.
Yes.
Boosted.
And Maria, you've been to a Tony Robbins event, haven't you?
No, but I know who he is.
Yeah, but I can tell the little thing at the end.
Oh.
That's funny. Cool. So there's three things that I've noticed from a psychological and emotional point of view, which is keeping people stuck. And the three things are: one, not feeling self-love; two, not feeling confidence; and three, not feeling motivation. Now, is your psychology the only thing that gets you results in life? Yes or no? You can even shake your head. No? Yeah.
No.
But it's the biggest piece. And do you know what percentage of success is psychological? Just yell at a number. What percentage you think of success
80.
is psychological? Anneice, you know the answer.
You know what? I didn't even remember it. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I didn't remember that I learned it.
Okay, no problem. So 80%. Molly, is that what you're going to say too?
I was going to say 70, 75.
There we go. There you go. So it's 80%. So, but you need the mechanics, but it's the psychology which opens your mind so that you look for the mechanics and you keep moving forward no matter what happens. And that's not positive thinking. It's a psychology. It's a mindset. And when something doesn't work, you do something else. 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 Who's experienced this in their life before?
Oh, yeah.
Right? There you go. So out of the very nice. So out of the three main areas that I help people uncover, self-love is the area that I think is the most important, because in the end, we all want to feel love. True or false?
True.
True. Okay. No, say it one more time. True or false?
True.
Okay, good.
True.
Awesome. Nice. Go. So, Anneice, you love this section. I know that we've all heard those tips and tricks how to love yourself, right? So what are some things that you find, on Google or whatever, when you type in, how do I love myself? How to love yourself? What are some things that you hear or that you read?
Self-care.
Affirmation.
Oh, it's like a head.
Sorry, Patty, go.
Like doing activities that make you feel better about yourself and stuff like that too, like self-care and loving yourself and journaling and trying to that way.
Right.
But aspirations are good too.
Aspiration. So self-care and doing things that you enjoy, right? That make you feel good and good about yourself, I think you said. Is that right? Awesome. Very cool, Patty. And Molly, you were going to say something?
I'm sorry, Patty. I was saying affirmations. Self-affirmations. Boy, is that everywhere. Okay.
It's true. It is everywhere. And then I think, Maria, you were going to say something? But even if you weren't, I still want you to say something.
Nature and that kind of self-care, where taking walks, hikes, anything, nature.
Okay, so where you feel like you're putting yourself first and connecting with yourself. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Cool. So that's got you. And anybody else that wants to say something, you could go on your audio and just say it. Amber?
No, it's listen, I'm coughing.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So these are things that we hear. Think of what you're good at. Who's heard that before? Show of hands.
Oh yeah.
As if what you're good at like equals self-love. Like you got to be good at something to love yourself. Or forgive yourself. Who's heard that before? Forgive yourself.
Mhm.
As if you've done something wrong. Or affirmations, as Molly said, look in the mirror and say positive things about yourself. And I love you. You're great. You're the best, right? And for anybody that loves it, Anneice,
I do.
there you go. So the affirmations, you're great, you're awesome. And do things that make you feel good, or in Maria's case, which I'm sure it does help you to an extent where you connect with nature. I get that as well. But all these things, they are surface level things. That's why they don't really work. Like you have to always chant in the mirror, in my opinion. Or you always have to, think of what you're good at. And if you're bad at something, you feel low about yourself. So these irk me because they're all surface level things, and they don't actually help you feel the self-love long term, and it's not sustainable, I found. So since all these things don't actually work, I found out a simple and effective way where you can feel self-love forever. And I'll actually tell you what it is right now. And after I say it, if you want to get up and leave, I totally understand. Want to know what it is?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good. The secret to feeling self-love forever is to do nothing. Because you don't have to do anything, or you don't have to be anybody. Love is natural, and self-love is natural. It's just about removing the conditioning that stops us from feeling what's natural. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm in the right place.
Yes, you are. Good. And welcome, Alan and Cece.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Is that a relief?
It is. And here's why. Okay.
Tell me.
It took me decades to get to the space of where it is about just being. Being where I am, as I am, and honoring that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. And did everybody hear the frustration of all those years that Molly didn't live that way? Right?
Yeah.
So
I was getting my lunch ready, so I didn't even hear what she said.
Okay. So Patty, I was saying, to feel self-love forever, you don't have to do anything or be anybody. Love is natural, and self-love is natural. And Molly's,
Yeah, I don't fully agree with that right now. Maybe you can change my mind on that, but maybe I can explain why I don't feel that way. But
you know what? I would usually go forward, but this is interesting. Tell me why you don't agree.
I'm gonna explain it because I just went through a very hard time right now, and I don't understand why. And it's not that I don't love myself, but I had just met somebody in August, and we found out that he liked each other back in December.
You found out what? Sorry.
I found someone in August, and we found out that we liked each other back in December.
Okay. Okay.
And we were getting along. We were having a really good time. I thought we were having a great relationship. And I was honest with him about my mom, and me and my mom do not have the best relationship. Him and his parents are very, very close. Me and my mom are very different. Like, we love each other, but we're very hard on each other because they're getting ready for the real world. They're not really doing that for him.
Okay.
And I never told him that, but like, my mom's a little harder on me, and I told him that, and I felt like I was too honest with him because now he won't talk to me.
Mm.
He's saying that my mom, isn't helping me. He thinks that my mom's putting him down. Now he wants a 4-month break, and he won't tell me why. He told me like this very long thing that he wants, I guess he's saying that he needs some help from God or whatever, but he basically made it sound like I made this break happen and it's all my fault. And it's hard for me not to be like, I usually love myself, but I'm putting myself down because I'm like, he made it sound like it's all me. Like, I did all that.
Right. So you're being hard on yourself?
Huh?
You're being hard on yourself?
A little bit, yeah. And I don't want to be that way. That's why I'm like, I feel like I need help. I don't want to think like it's all me.
Got you. Okay, cool. So stay tuned. Thank you for sharing that, though. That's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you can turn off your audio, Patty, because I'm hearing the background noise. Awesome, thank you. So when people come to me, I don't actually give them anything. All I do is help them break the conditioning, which again is blocking them from feeling what's natural. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes, awesome. And for people who their video isn't on, if you could put your audio on and so like they could be interactive, that would really help as well. Okay. So we're gonna see what some of these patterns are. And as we go through them, think of what patterns you might be running as a first step to actually start breaking the pattern. And remember, these are patterns. They're not who you really are. Okay? And then these patterns, they're usually subconscious patterns, not conscious patterns. And we all know that the subconscious is running the show. And its job is to always move us away from pain and towards where's the camera? Towards pleasure. And which is usually the stronger force? Pleasure or pain? Just yell it out.
I don't know. Pain.
Pain. Yeah. Who else thinks it's pain?
Yes.
Who's
Pain.
Maria? You think it's pain? Yeah. Pain. Right. And then who said I don't know? Was it Molly?
I need to learn the difference.
Okay.
Wow.
Got you. Go. So Maria and Anneice, right. Pain is a stronger force subconsciously. We will do more to get away from pain than to go towards pleasure. Right? If we don't have food, if we don't have money at the end of the month, we'll do anything to get that money if we have to pay the bills before getting kicked out of our apartment or whatever. But if we have to make an extra 30,000, we won't be as motivated. So a lot of our conditioning is to get away from that pain and then maybe to move towards some of the pleasure subconsciously. But I'm here to show you how to feel as much freedom and pleasure as possible while getting away from the exhausting pain of running these patterns and acting like somebody that you're not even that person. Okay? But here's the thing. Most people don't feel self-love. And some people go, what is self-love? Is it like I love myself, I love myself, I love myself? Or is it being perfect? Is it being great? Is it being hot? By self-love, what I mean is fully being yourself. That's it. Not I'm myself because I have all these accolades or all these achievements or because I help people or because I'm this or because I'm that. No, just being yourself, how you naturally are, and fully expressing who you truly are. And again, it doesn't mean, running around and be like, I'm great. Sometimes you see in the movies or whatever. Whatever is natural to you, whatever expression is natural to you, that's what self-love is. And I believe, and I found, not feeling self-love is the number one reason people have trouble in dating and relationships. Okay? So because if you're not secure, if you don't feel self-love, you're either going to be too anxious, which is like me. Who's seen that before? Perfect. Or you'll be too avoidant, like, oh no, don't get too close or else you'll see something's wrong with me. Or you'll be anxious avoidance, which is like me, but oh my God, if you get too close, then I'm going to back away. So you're always in that, back and forth thing. So if you're not noticing red flags, if you're putting up with shit all the time, if you're not setting boundaries, if you can't get close to people, if you can't trust people, if you feel like you always have to be in control so that the other person doesn't leave you, if you're always dating assholes, bitches, men who act like assholes, women who act like bitches, and this is a pattern for you, the main reason I found is that you're not feeling true self-love. You're running some pattern. Excuse my French, as we say in Canada. Do you say it in the States as well, Anneice?
Yeah, people say that in the States. Excuse my French.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I thought it was maybe because of the Quebec thing in Canada. There you go. So as promised, I'm going to show you what I believe is the most common pattern in the world amongst humans and why so many people don't feel self-love. And instead of just telling you, I'm going to show you an image and we'll explain this pattern and the basis of every other pattern and why you do anything in life. The 6 human needs. Ooh. So these are emotional states that we must and do experience 24/7, at least the first 4. Every action we take, any belief we have, any story we tell ourselves, it's because we've associated it to meet one or more of these 6 human needs. Okay? So we're going to go through this together. And if you want to turn your audio on again, we're going to go through this together. So the first need is the need for
Certainty.
certainty. Perfect. To feel secure, to feel safe, like you have, enough money in the bank, you have enough food on the table, your health is in good enough condition, like you have enough certainty that you could at least feel calm enough to live your life. Okay. The next need is the need for
Variety.
variety. Perfect. So it's also called uncertainty, variety, something different, something new. For example, there's that new restaurant you go to, when there's that new restaurant in town, or, oh my God, that new show with the new season's on, or even a conversation could be variety, or just changing your state could be variety. So some kind of difference, the opposite of certainty, some kind of change, some kind of different, some kind of, je ne sais quoi, something that's different, something that's new. The next need is the need for
Significance.
There you go. To feel special, to feel needed, to feel wanted, to feel like your life has purpose, to feel like you have purpose, to feel like your life and you have meaning. This could be in yourself or in a relationship as well. The next need is the need for
Love and connection.
love and connection. To feel love and connected with yourself, with other people, and with, as Maria said, with nature as well. With some kind of loving connection. It could be part of a group, some kind of way you feel connected and loved. So the first part, we have to meet 24/7. We have to, and we do meet 24/7. Even if we have to lie to ourselves, even if you have to have split personalities, whatever, we always meet them. The last 2 you don't have to meet. But when you do at high levels, that's where you feel fulfilled. So the next need is the need for
Growth.
growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. In your business, if you're not growing, you're dying. In your relationship, even if everything is like smooth and like it's like chill, but it's not growing, what happens? Just yell it out loud.
It's over.
It's over.
It fizzles.
It fizzles.
Feels empty.
Feels empty. It's true. And yell out the sound what you feel as a sound when everything is just the same all the time in a relationship.
Bug.
Right, okay. That's right. So we need growth because growth is life. We don't need it to survive, but if it's not growing, it's dying. So in a way, we kind of do. And then when you grow, you can meet the next need, which is the need for
Contribution.
So giving beyond yourself. So that could be in business, it could be helping your clients. In relationships, it could be helping the other person. It could be you and the other person having kids, or helping like a charity or some kind of organization, something where you and them help beyond yourselves. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Yes.
So any questions about what any of these mean, just so we clear it up, and don't be shy. Like if someone goes, could you tell me about significance again or something?
Well, I
Yes.
have one that came up, the variety piece.
Okay.
Tell me where flexibility comes in on that, or am I thinking something different? Because that was the first word that came to me when we shouted variety.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Yeah. Because if someone's so certain, which is the opposite, they're kind of like stuck like this. So flexibility resonates with variety. Yes.
Open-mindedness.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
with you.
Got you. Okay. Good question. Anybody else in terms of, what does this mean? What does that mean? No. Okay. So we're going to go through a fun little exercise so we can really, learn this and really get it into us, and we could use it with other people as well. Because Maria, you said you work with with autistic people as well. Is that right? Your audio is not on, so I can't hear you.
So, but yes,
I saw your smile, and I was, but yeah, okay, yes. So this works for you as well. So anybody that you work with, so that's why we have to get it into our system and really know this, like really know this. So everybody, think of something you love, not kind of like something you love, something you love, 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 love. You got it?
Yeah.
Now, the reason you love it is because you're meeting at least 3 of these needs at high levels, or you've associated it to meet at least 3 of these needs at high levels. So we're gonna go through this together with a few people and and explain something that you love. Who wants to start? And just yell it out. If you're not on video chat, you can even yell it out if you're on audio. Brooke, do you want to go? No. Debbie, would you like to tell everybody something that you love? Alan, would you like to would you like to share something that you love? Steph? Mary?
Hello.
Yeah, who's talking?
Oh, sorry, that's me, Maria.
Oh,
The
Maria,
question
yes.
is something that you love or we
Yeah.
love.
That you love, yes.
My son.
Your son. Okay. Very nice. Okay, cool. With your son, on a scale from 1 to 10, how certain do you feel?
10.
10. Okay. How much variety, fun, different, new things do you feel with your son?
In regards to emotion or
That you experience with your son?
from 1 to 10.
Yeah, like new things that happen, let's say, with him or in the life of him. Mom and
I'd
him.
say 10. There's a variety of everything, events.
Right.
Yeah.
Is he a little guy?
He is 15.
Oh, 15. Okay. So teenage. Okay. Teenager. Cool. How significant do you feel with him?
Are we still doing the scale?
Scale from 1 to 10, yes.
10.
10. There you go. Okay. How much loving connection do you feel with him?
He's a teen. Connection, it's not all there. 7, 8.
Okay. And you're missing that?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. So 7, 8. How much growth do you experience with him?
I seen it a lot more when he was younger. Recently, he's kept to himself because it's those teenage years, so it's kind of hard to range it right now. Overall, if I'd have to say, same 7, 8.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7, 8. Okay, 7, 8. And how much contribution where you feel like you're contributing to him?
At least an 8. Yeah.
What about when he was little?
Oh, that was more. That was
Yeah.
like 100%.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so but we did get the certainty was a 10, the variety was a 10, and significance was a 10, right? Okay, so just that Maria's hitting 3 of her needs at high levels. That's why she loves her son. That's not why she loves her. That's why she feels so good around her son, because she's meeting at least 3 of her needs at high levels. That makes sense, Maria?
It does.
Okay, awesome, good. Molly, would you like to go?
Yeah, right off the jump, dance, music, rhythm, right? Yeah.
So listening to it, dancing to it, taking it in your soul,
Feeling it,
feeling it.
connecting to it, listening, to the nuances, the intricacies of it.
Right. Okay.
Moving my body, interpreting, expressing with it.
Gotcha. On a scale from 1 to 10, how certain do you feel with it in your body?
Past a 10.
Past a 10. Okay, good.
I go to a different realm.
Very nice. How much variety do you feel? Different emotions, different.
Oh my goodness. Past a 10.
Past a 10.
Because it brings out things in me that I did not know were there.
Right. That surprised you as you're taking it in. I'm assuming, right? Yes. Okay. How significant? How significant and meaningful do you feel it is on a scale from 1 to 10?
Past the 10.
Everything's past the 10 with you.
Listen.
You didn't let me do that.
I feel so much inside. It's just who I am.
It's just who I
And when
am.
I'm moving and music and everything, I may not need a man, but
No.
Okay, we got music. How much love and connection do you feel when you're feeling the music, taking in the music?
Past a 10.
So you can't even speak. Okay, oh, you're crying.
The emotion. There's so much that I want to give when I'm dancing, when I hear the music, when I interpret it. It's within my soul. Yeah.
Got you. Very nice. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much growth do you feel with music, with dance?
This is the place where I want more growth.
Okay, got you. Okay. I'm understanding you. Okay. And how much contribution do you feel?
I want to share it.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
Yeah.
I'm contributing to myself when I am doing it and making it a pivotal part in my journey. But I want to share it. I want to teach it. Yeah. I
And
want
who
to
shared-
speak it. Okay.
Who shared it with you, Molly? It seems like maybe you got that from family, your mom, someone.
Oh, Anneice, I don't want everybody to pull out the Kleenex. My
Okay.
mom was a singer. So absolutely from the womb. Okay.
I could tell.
Thank you, Mom. She's my angel, and I just lost my father last year.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry.
Gotcha. Okay. So as we saw, certainty was 10. No, it was more than 10. Variety was more than 10. Significance, it was more than 10. Love and connection was more than 10, and there was emotion there. It was, Molly started crying. Could you see why Molly loves music and dance? Does
Yes.
that make sense? Okay, good. Awesome. And Molly, I want to say now that what you just described, I think, is a reflection of your actual life right now. Yeah. And you feel stuck in the not grow. You feel stuck somewhere. That's why you're not growing, right? Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Is Patty still there? No. And Anneice, would you like to do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like with the last presentation, you know what I'm gonna say. I'm like Maria. It's all about my baby.
Right. Oh yes. Okay. Okay. Yes.
It's Bella.
It's Bella. Yes.
Yes, it's going to be about her, and certainty is definitely a 10. Variety, definitely a 10. Significance, definitely a 10. She's 9, so I'm very important to her right now. Love and connection. Yes, that's beyond a 10. I mean, Bella will write me notes and say, "You're the best mommy," and just hand it to me, just for no reason. She's amazing. And growth, I think I'm growing, not just she is, but I think I grow as well when I'm learning new ways, because she's she's not all over the place, but she likes so many different things, and it's a challenge because she becomes interested in things to me a little earlier than I would like. So she's growing, and then I'm growing as a parent, because she's not that small child anymore, and she's becoming more adult-like in her interests, and I'm trying to manage it. And contribution, definitely. I feel like I think that's a 10 as well. I feel like I contribute a lot
Very nice.
to her.
And do you feel how you're feeling right now?
Yes, I know. I'm excited. Whenever I think about her, it makes me happy.
Okay, there you go. So who could see why Anneice loves Bella?
Bella, yes.
Yeah. Because she's meeting all her needs at high levels, like really high levels, all 6 of them. Right? So we're going, okay, this is great for myself. So it's first to know about yourself, but it's also for a relationship. When you're meeting other people's needs, each other's needs in the relationship at high levels, they're gonna stay if you're a good match, obviously. And that does not mean sacrificing yourself in order to meet other people's needs. What I mean is, most people go into a relationship to try to get something. I want to get love. I want people to love me. I want to feel safe. I want to feel secure, right? But a relationship is a place where you get to give something. You get to help them feel certain or variety, or you help them feel significant. You help them feel loving connection. You help them feel growth. You help them feel contribution. And when you're doing that for each other, you're helping each other. And you could even say, once you've done it for the other person, you can say, you know what, honey, I feel certain when you do X, Y, and Z. Or I feel more loving connection when we, maybe hold hands as opposed to just, watching a movie together on the couch. We hold hands, for example, or when we do this. Or, I feel more growth when we're maybe picking strawberries together in the summer or something like that, as opposed to, working at the business. So you could share that as well. So
Hey,
it's
Giovanni.
about, yeah.
We have a question in the chat.
Okay.
And it's from Brooke. She didn't know that you prefer to just ask out.
Okay, Brooke, are you able to go on audio? Where's Brooke? Oh, Brooke in the bottom. I guess not. Okay, yeah. So thank you, Anneice.
Sure.
What happens when your needs are no longer met, but you still stay anyways? You're asking why you still stay, right? Okay, so as I wait for the answer, I'm assuming Brooke means, what my needs are not getting. Yes, why do people stay here? My needs are not.
Oh, you're muted. Giovanni, you're muted. Okay.
How do we get rid of this? Oh my gosh, I can get rid of. Oh gosh. So anyways, why when our needs aren't getting met, why do we still stay in a relationship? And there are a few reasons. And part of it, I believe the biggest one, as sad as it sounds, is not feeling self-love and not being your own person. You're connected with the other person. That's the biggest reason. And without knowing more, Brooke, that's what I could say right now without knowing more about the situation. And as we continue talking throughout the presentation, I hope to answer your question. Okay, Brooke? But I can't seem to, let me just do this. Perfect. Okay, so we all meet at least the first 4 at high level. We always meet at least the first 4, 24/7, no matter what. But we tend to value 2 of them above the rest. We tend to think 2 of them are more important than the rest, and we tend to live our lives that way. So you could either write it down on your paper, and your phone, or just in your head right now, and think, what are your top 2 needs? Anneice, what are your top 2 needs?
My top 2 are love and connection.
Yep.
And significance.
Okay. So love and connection is right. The significance is they're not opposites, but in a way they're opposites. We've done this.
You tell me my answer is wrong.
Because they're opposites.
Well, the last time I said certainty, because it is important to me, but that's mainly, I think, because I feel like I need to have more stability. And that's what I look for, and that's what I want, is that stability. But I do want things to be meaningful as well in my life. I want to have what I do to be meaningful and to be of service to people. So if I look at it in the sense of what I want, it would be love and connection, and to feel like I'm helping.
To feel like you matter.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So as we're doing this, and I'll start with you, Anneice. This is where I'll be
Okay.
working. I'll be working with you as well, because I don't want this just to be a presentation where I go blah blah blah, and you go away going, yeah, that was kind of cool. I want everybody here to actually get something out of this, to actually make some kind of distinction, some kind of something where they feel more free, some kind of improvements. Okay. So I'll
Okay.
start with you, Anneice. You cool with that?
Yes.
You sure?
Are you going to make an example out of me?
I would love to work with you, Anneice. Would you like to join me?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. So loving connection, it's right. Not just because I'm saying it, but how did you feel when you said loving connection?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Okay.
number one, definitely.
Okay. So everybody here, listen as people talk, how it sounds when they're saying it, their body language when they're saying it, the feeling behind it when they're saying it. So you can learn about other people, but you can also learn about yourself as well. So you can tell yourself, we can tell ourselves the truth, and we know if something doesn't feel right or something feels right. So we can help ourselves. So love and connection, you said, felt natural, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And you can even, everybody, who here can see and feel it, that it's just like, it just rolls off. It's just natural for her. Right? Just, yeah, loving connection, loving connection, loving connection,
Loving connection, yeah.
loving connection.
That's me.
Yeah. But then when you said certainty, I want to feel like, I matter. I'm exaggerating. But did you feel the constriction?
No, I do want to feel that way. It's true. I mean, if I didn't have worries or concerns, then maybe I would say variety, because I feel like when something is new and different, I love it.
Yes.
I love new and different things, but it's not always something I can say my life has to be, that I make decisions based on that.
Right. Okay. So how did you feel right there when you said variety?
Free, open.
Free, open. Okay. Okay. Now go back. Now say significance or certainty.
Significance.
There we go. Do you feel that?
Stop.
What about certainty? Certainty.
Certainty.
How does that
Certainty.
feel?
I mean, it feels like I have some bills that need to get paid, and that's why I want certainty.
Got you. Okay, cool. So you tell me, is it fair to say love and connection is number one?
Definitely.
And
yeah.
And it sounds like variety is number two naturally.
Well, naturally, yes. I would say variety is number two.
Okay, cool. So everybody felt that, right? Okay, so it's not just me telling you what your doc needs are. I'm looking at how you're responding. So but I'm not going to be here and be like, no, do this. The reason and we talked about this last time, last presentation, the reason you're valuing certainty, you said the last time, was because you have to take care of your little one, Bella. You have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Life could get kind of hard sometimes, a little bit uncertain sometimes.
Yeah.
So we train ourselves, or we condition ourselves to start valuing needs that aren't our real top two needs. Because we think that's for survival, right? Because we want to get it. Right? So just what we were saying before, we want to get away from pain and maybe move towards a little bit of pleasure. So I can't just be this free hippie because I have to pay the bills.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So this is an example, and we all do this, where our top two needs, our real top two needs, are not always the same as our top two operating needs, how we actually live our lives. So if I asked you last time, you said love and connection and certainty. Right? So that's how you're living your life. That is how you're living your life, but that's not how you really are. And this time you said love and connection and significance. Because you don't always feel like you're being shit on, or not shit on, but you know, this, that, you want to feel like you actually matter, and you put yourself first as well, right?
Right.
Okay. Who here by show of hands knows exactly what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Has run this pattern before, or has seen somebody else has run this pattern before. So I want to be significant. I want to feel like I matter, not always putting everybody else first and myself last.
Right.
Right? Okay. And how do I know this, Anneice?
I don't know.
I don't know. because
How do you know that?
Because
I'm
I'm
a
psychic.
mom?
No. So I'm not psychic or anything. It's because these are patterns. What that means is these are not who you really are. For everybody that's listening, this is not who you really are. This is not, Anneice is not really about certainty or significance. These are just patterns because there's stress in life, because there's stress with this, that, and then we tell ourselves something different, right?
Yeah.
But what I found, and I've done this again with myself and with all my clients, and everybody I talk to, actually, we're the most in control, and the most, we express the most, we do the most, we do the best, we do our best when we're operating out of our real top two needs. Okay. Because if certainty is not in our top two needs, but we're like certainty, you see how you close, like it's like the energy closes up.
Yeah.
And it's not just, and I'll definitely get to you, Molly, in a second. And it's not about just the energy, like, oh, the positive energy and, law of attraction, because I don't believe in that. What I mean is when you feel closed up, do you work with people in these?
A little. I mean, I work
Yeah.
from home and I have people on the team that I email, but I really don't work in an office.
Okay. So who here interacts with another human being? If it's work, or if it's your kid, if it's your relationship, it could be a relationship as well. Now, if somebody's valuing certainty and they're like closed up, how's the energy there?
Yeah.
Everybody just yell it out. What's the energy there? Make the noise.
Stifled, it's stuck, it hurts.
It hurts, right? And Anneice is not about hurting. She's the opposite of hurting. She's all about loving and giving. So she doesn't want to do that. But if you're like, you don't want to do that. But if you're like that, if somebody is like that, value and certainty, how are they going to attract somebody? How is anybody going to see that? Because they're holding on too tight. So it might seem like, oh no, just because I have to pay the bills, and I get it. I do. I'm not making fun of you. I get it. But it really does influence us with everybody we interact with, right? There's a reason why being natural opens us up, because we feel most alive. So there was somebody else here, and I forget, I'm not sure if they're actually still here. I don't think so. And they were saying, I'm not sure. They were saying, if they're still here, please, shout it out loud. They were saying, I feel, guys don't come up to me because they think I'm too attractive and they're intimidated.
It's Debbie.
It was Debbie. Debbie's still here, right?
Is Debbie?
Debbie still
are you
here?
still here? Debbie? Yeah, Debbie's still here. She's muted though. Debbie, can you unmute? We can't hear you.
Okay, that's fine. So that's
there
what
guys, now it unworked. I tried to unmute and it was giving me a heck of a time. All right, go ahead.
Where are we, Debbie? Oh, we're at the top. Debbie, we're here.
I'm right here.
So you said that guys don't come up to you because they find you too good looking, right?
Right. That's what they tell me. The reason why you wouldn't approach me, and I was like, well, I don't understand.
Okay, cool. So can I be honest with you?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, cool. And we've all done this, so it's not just you. So you might be like so good looking, and people are so intimidated by you. Like it might be that, and I'm not being facetious. Like I'm saying that it might be that because some guys don't feel secure in themselves. It might be that. But what I can hear in your voice is closed up. Do you know what I mean? Right?
Yeah, I'm disgusted. Yeah.
Yeah. So disgusted, I think before you kind of alluded to giving up. Like I have no hope anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So do you feel, Debbie, how that energy could ward off people?
Well, no, I'm not that way with people. I'm out with people. I'm friendly, happy, good lucky, and everything is great.
Okay.
I don't show negativity at all. It's one thing I won't do.
Okay, perfect. So sometimes we don't show it if we try to, pretend to be a certain way. But if we're
Mhm.
believing something and valuing something,
Mhm.
we're coming across that way. So if we know it or not,
Okay.
right? So, but it might be just be that you're extremely good looking. It might be that, right?
No, I
So
don't say I'm extremely good looking. I wouldn't say that, but just what one guy had told me.
that's what
And
one
it
guy
just
told you.
kind of creeped me up. And it's, kind of, men kind of creep me out, period, anymore. It's like they stare at you, they want you for one thing and one thing only. And if you're not interested in that one thing, or, one guy said, oh, well, if you're not good in bed, forget it. It's like, give me a freaking break,
Got you. So of
That's
course,
the main focus that men have. And that's what makes me really disgusted,
yeah,
is that men don't realize that, there's more to life than sex. There's a
right,
hell of a lot more.
right. So of course, we would feel frustrated and angry about that. I totally get that.
Right. That's
Gotcha.
the main objective I have a problem with.
Got you. Thank you, Debbie.
Mm.
So working with Anneice, if we're valuing certainty in a relationship, how does that relationship look? You tell me, Anneice.
Doesn't work well.
Doesn't work well.
No, because you are so concerned about it working out that you are not enjoying it, and you're not walking away early enough.
Right. So I asked that, how does it look? The same idea. So, but what about if you're your natural self, valuing variety? How would your
Yeah.
relationship look there? Yeah.
I'd go out on more dates for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Good. Do you feel the difference right now as you're talking?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, but wait a second. I thought you were supposed to value certainty because you have bills to pay.
I do have bills to pay. I
Okay.
don't know how to make sense of this.
Are you confused?
I'm going right back to certainty, I promise you, on Monday.
On Monday, okay. Okay. So this is a show, and you can feel it too. Being yourself, that's where you light up. That's where you have the energy. So even if you have bills to pay, which we all do,
Yeah.
where do you feel like you could make, do better financially? By closing up and cutting off your energy, or by being yourself?
By being myself.
There you
Yeah.
go. Where do you feel like you could do better in dates? By closing up, or by being yourself and being
Being
that?
myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And in relationships, where do you think you would do better? By being closed up or by being yourself?
Being myself.
There you go. Okay, cool. So your top two needs again are?
Loving connection and variety.
And right. Good. Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Molly, yes.
I really need to just make sure about certainty, because certainty means something different now for me. Okay. When I think of certainty, I think of an inner safety. Okay.
Right.
Being safe inside of who I am. Having just, my feet planted underneath me. It doesn't have this is for me.
Right.
It doesn't have anything to do about material things, money, what I have, what I need to manage. Not anymore. It's just really feeling planted in who I am, as I am, with whoever I'm around, whatever environment, in my journey, no matter where that's at.
Right.
So
I would think that would be connection. I would think that would be connection.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, wait a minute. They're all tied for me. They all, I can't have one without the other. Like, I can't say that I'm connected if I'm not really true in who I am at the heart level, soul level. It doesn't matter where I am and who you are. Okay. If I don't feel that safety in connecting and being as I am, it's not going to work.
Right. Gotcha.
I'm not
Thank you.
going
I
to
agree.
be there. I'm going to be like an empty shell, like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll get back to, so I think somebody
Thank
said
you.
something.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I think somebody else said something.
Debbie.
I just 100% agree with her. She hit the nail right with the hammer right on the nail.
Which part?
The whole thing she said.
Yes.
Was
It's
exactly how I feel. That's great.
It's deeper. Certainty is deeper for me. All of these are deeper for me. You know.
Right.
That's right.
Good. Awesome. So Molly, what are your top 2 needs?
I after listening to you working with Anneice, I don't know. And I don't say that just trying to be, I say that in a real way.
Yeah.
Because again, the meaning that I give all 6 of these things are so deep now for me in my journey. Okay.
Right.
To say that my needs are being met, I really have to feel it deeply. And it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing or trying to do or trying to get. It's I have to vibrate it.
Right. So we'll do, I hear you, and let's go through this together. We'll do it together.
Okay.
What do you think your
Guide me through it. Okay.
What do you think your top need is? The one where you feel the most in your body?
Now that I shared what the definition and the meaning of certainty is for me, that has to be there. Again, that certainty in being in my skin, just as I am, and honoring that and being safe in it.
Right.
So that has to be there.
Okay. So certainty. Okay. What do you think your second one is?
Love and connection is what comes next. And again, when I say love, I am love.
Right.
Who I am in my life is love.
Right.
When I speak, when I am just not even speaking, I feel who I am as love all the time.
Right. Okay.
Connection. Because I know what it feels like to not have been connected to myself for decades.
Right.
You want to talk about, I wasn't here. Okay, I was the walking dead.
Right.
But when I had that, and really it was life, it was journey that happened. Mom died. Oh my God, I can go on and on. Okay. I had to be defibrillated back online. Okay. In the heart back in 2008. So that's where I started to really to go on a discovery path of what is connection for me. Okay.
Right.
Connection is deep. Okay. It's not about being with a man and being in a relationship. It has all and everything and anything to do with me, soul, spirit, heart,
right.
energy.
Okay. So I would love to keep talking.
All that.
We have to keep moving this forward. Okay.
That's the second one. So
okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So what if I say that love and connection is your first one?
I'm not going to disagree because both of those are huge.
Okay. So Anneice, do you feel that as well? That love and connection is her first one?
Yes. I mean, she gets emotional.
Yeah.
I would say love and connection would be her number one.
Right. So, but what I think is happening is a lot of hurt and anger from your past, maybe anger at yourself as well. And that's why when we, let's say, get animated and get angry just in life, or when someone yells, and I'm not saying you specifically right now, but just in general, when we yell, we feel certain. When we're yelling and we feel significant, like we matter.
Giovanni, if I can just push back,
Sure.
it's passion.
Passion. Yeah.
It's a deep, intense passion that I have after really feeling who I am now.
Okay.
And the emotions come up because I cheated myself out of that for so long. And now I'm here. Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
So what's your first need?
Again.
Loving connect. It's loving. I believe it's loving connection.
Okay.
Okay, that's where the
hey,
that's where the real
guide
passion.
me.
There we go. You see how you feel right now? By show of hands, who saw that and felt that right now? Okay, good. That's how we know what's real. So loving connection is first for you, and I'm sure there's other things as well. And that's where the real passion is going to come from. When it's loving connection, passion. That's where the real passion come from. True or false, Molly? True. Okay. Awesome. And then from loving connection, I'm sure we can meet the other needs as well. And through loving connection, you could get unstuck where you're stuck in your life and actually grow, because that's the one you wanted, right? There you go. Good. So, and very good, Molly. And we can all learn from Molly. Why wait till we're fucking 50? Why don't we do it now, whatever age we're at? Why do we have to cheat ourselves all these years? Why? And a lot of us do that. And then when we hit, I find it's typically late 30s, early 40s, we start going, I'm not putting myself first. I want to put myself first. And it's like, why can't we do this sooner? Why are we putting everything else and everybody else first and ourselves last? Why can't we live like that sooner? And Molly, we have to move forward, but if you want to say one thing, go for it.
Here's my answer to that, Giovanni, and I'm just being very real, okay?
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Fear of allowing myself to just really be raw and vulnerable and open and let you in to see, feel, and hear me.
Right. And is it worth it to push yourself down all these years?
No, the physical pain, the everything that I endured.
Right.
No.
There we go. And we're all like,
too
yeah.
high of a price to pay.
That's
and
right.
I'm done.
That's right. Good. So Molly's experienced the pain of it. That's why she's like, F this, I'm not doing this anymore. But we don't have to wait. We don't have to wait so long. We could break the patterns down and learn it now. Thank you, Molly. Mary, I think you want to say something.
This, like I know in
Mary, sorry, go ahead. I can't hear. Anneice, are you able to hear Mary?
No, Mary, we can't hear you. We're having some technical difficulties. Do you want to type it in the chat and I'll read it out? We couldn't hear what you were saying.
Okay, so as she's typing, I'll move forward. And if she types,
if she
let me know.
types something in,
Okay.
I'll let you know.
So again, in ourselves or in relationships, how does the relationship look different if we're valuing certainty versus variety or versus growth? At the beginning of a relationship, when you first meet somebody, we tend to value variety more. Have fun, do fun things, crazy things sometimes. You don't have to do crazy things, but we're more, open, free flowing. And afterwards we go, we have to be certain because we have X, Y, Z. And of course there's responsibility in life. But if someone is so certain, that's why there's no more passion in relationships, because we've missed that variety. Also, what creates comfortability in a relationship is certainty. I know everything about you, you know everything about me, we know everything about each other. What creates passion is variety. Something you don't know about the other person. Maybe they do their own thing. That's why I always say, make sure both people do their own thing. If it's, I'm playing sports every Thursday night, or I'm going out with the girls every Saturday night, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. Having your own lives creates that attraction. And then And then there's something new to the person. You don't know everything about the person. There's something different, there's something new. That's variety. And that's what creates the passion. So being in a relationship or being in married, long-term, whatever, it doesn't have to be so boring all the time. There could be some variety. And you can always throw in some variety, something new, something different. If you're always watching maybe TV every Friday night, go out to the to the movies, let's say, for example, or do something different that day, or try something different in bed, whatever it is. Something that's different, that creates the spark, that creates the passion. Okay. Now also think about if somebody values significance in a relationship rather than loving connection, how does that look different? When somebody's always saying, you know, what am I getting in the relationship? Or what am I not getting? Or what are you not doing for me? Or I don't feel special. If someone values that, how does that look different from if somebody values loving connection? Hey, let's do this together. I have so much, like, I feel so much love to give for you, and I'm receiving so much love as well. And I feel free and I feel open. So as we're seeing what our top two needs are, keep in mind, if someone's like, I need to be certain or whatever, think of what that actually does in a relationship, if that's even you. If someone goes, I want to feel special all the time in a relationship, and we all want to feel special and meaningful, but if that's above a loving connection, think of what that's doing to your relationship, rather than just being yourself and being free, which is loving connection. And in this chart, I'm going to show you what I promised, which is the most common pattern in the world. And the reason why so many people don't feel self-love. It's because they're valuing significance first over love and connection. They're trying to be special because our biggest fear is that we're not enough and we won't be loved. So we try to feel special and needed and wanted. We try to go through the back door of loving connection. Because if we're so great and we're so special, you know, people can't love but help us. People can't help but love us, right? That's the most common pattern in the world. People try to be significant. And this is the pattern that everybody plays. It's the game that everybody plays all the effing time, everywhere. It could be my car, it could be this, it could be what I say, what I do, but everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Everybody's trying to be better somehow, or I'm the victim. If I'm the victim, I'm significantly the victim. Nobody ever loves me. I'm so disappointed. Everybody this, everybody that. That's significance again. But everybody does that when we can just live at a loving connection. So I'll show you. So we sometimes think of significance as those, you know, those flashy people that are, you know, egomaniacs. Those flashy people who are, you know, flashing their bling bling or flashing other things. But it's not always those kind of people. And there's actually 3 ways that people try to be significant. And when they're trying to be significant, it's because they're dying to feel loving connection. But I'll show you the 3 patterns and we'll go through them. I'll explain them and I'll also ask you questions at the end to start breaking the pattern. So you break this pattern of trying to be significant so you can actually feel self-love, loving connection. So you could feel whole in yourself. So you could feel free in yourself. So you could feel whole and free in a relationship as well. And when things don't feel right, you break it off with that person, if it makes sense, obviously. If you're seeing the red flags, you feel so connected with yourself, you break it off with that person. So I believe it was Brooke, you asked before, why do some people stay in a relationship? And it's because they're meeting their needs at certain levels. For example, they might feel significant by staying in a relationship. And significant doesn't always mean I feel great. Significant also could mean I feel like the victim. So someone's meeting their needs at high levels, or they feel certainty, like I'm so used to this. Like I know how it's gonna end up, so I feel certain. Right? And they can maybe even feel growth because when you maybe answer back to your husband or your wife, you feel like you're doing something. So the reason why, as a blanket statement, the reason why people stay anywhere is because they're still associating it to meet 1 or more of their needs, and most likely 2 or 3 or more. Okay. So again, as we go through them, I'm going to ask questions at the end, and this is your chance to go in your head and ask yourself these questions and say, you know, with this, that, and that'll be the first steps on you starting to break the pattern so you can be yourself and live free. Everybody ready for that?
Yes.
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 Maria, are you still here? Maria? No, okay. So I will take off the
I am. I'm still here.
Maria's still here. Okay, awesome, good. So no more share screen, right? Okay, awesome.
I'll see you later.
And Mary, would you like to share your top 2 needs? Maria, would you like to share your top 2 needs? I can't hear you. Is your audio on? Your audio's off.
You took him off the
Mine
screen.
is companionship. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Debbie, go ahead.
No, I was just saying mine is companionship.
Which of the 6 human needs?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Maria, what do you think your top 2 needs are?
Love and connection was one.
Yep.
And I forgot what the bottom one was.
Contribution.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure?
If it was contribution dealing with like if there was the other person and whoever that relationship might be, if it's whoever, there's many types of relationship with siblings, with parents, with the loved one, with the child, them also contributing to this relationship as well.
And is
So
contribution
that
your
it goes
actual?
both ways.
For sure. And is the contribution your actual second need?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, so I heard that in your voice, and that's why I'm asking you. And then now you're questioning too, because you felt. Did you? Right? Okay. What is
But
it? Go ahead.
I would say so. I don't recall the other ones, but that's kind of when I was reading through them, the one that stuck out.
What about growth?
I could see growth, definitely. There's always room for growth, and I'm currently trying to work on that. I think it is important, definitely, in this topic that we're talking about, self-love and all. And then growth, it comes in part with helping a relationship grow. So I feel that one would be important too. But I don't know, the other one, I just feel like it resonates more with me.
Okay, what about variety?
Variety. I love that we're all human. Like you said, it's part of emotions, right? All feeling all these different things and experiencing different things. I love that. I love experimenting all the time, especially food. I'm all over the place with food, but variety. When it comes to like relationships, I am not quite sure how to blend that in variety.
Right. Okay. Right. So I'm thinking your second need is actually variety.
Why?
Because you were talking really much faster when you were talking about it, and there's more energy.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and she laughed and she gave an example. She talked about food. I think she was just more open when she talked about variety.
There you go. There you go. Okay. So for some reason, and we'll go through the patterns really good, Maria, is you're blocking yourself from the variety for some reason. And that's also why you're feeling stuck somewhere. And you feel like you're not growing at the level you want to. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. That was really good. Cheryl.
Hi.
Hi. I didn't see you before. Did you just come in or?
I did. You're not losing it.
Okay. I was going to ask you what your top 2 needs are, but okay, maybe not.
No, it's okay. What is the question? Go ahead.
What are your top 2 needs for the 6 human needs? Did you see the needs?
No, actually, I just jumped in. I'm just kind of like listening.
Okay.
But maybe you can come back to me, and then I might be able to still answer your question.
Sure. There's still more for the presentation, so we'll go back. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
You're welcome. Anybody else want to share their top 2 needs? No? Okay, good. So the first common pattern, pattern number 1, Maria, is the helper. Now, some of us are natural helpers, and I think it's beautiful to help people. The hurtful pattern is when it's it's exaggeration of the helper. When we put everybody first and ourselves last. When we sacrifice ourselves so someone else can have their cake, right? But what these people usually do is they have their cake too, and sometimes a lot of it in private, to feel, because what that does is it meets their needs. They feel connected to themselves again. Because when they're eating and all the blood rushes to their stomach, they're finally feeling themselves again. They're connecting in a way to themselves again. So they feel connection. They also get a sugar high, so it changes their state. So it's variety. And they want to get away from the pain of always putting everybody else first and themselves last. So eating, especially sugary foods, will change your state, will get you away from that pain, at least momentarily. And then also it's trying to get away from the pain of, again, of always sacrificing themselves. Sorry. And it's also the significance, because, you know, I'm rewarding myself after a hard day of putting everybody first, you know, my job, my husband, my kids, my this, my that, whatever. So I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to feel good now, right? I'm going to feel significant because I matter as well. So I'm going to eat this and enjoy it. And that's significance. Eating certain foods could also be a way of stuffing down your feelings, so you don't have to feel the pain of the disconnect with yourself and what you really think and feel. And sometimes we're conditioned that way, to shut up and not explain what we actually think and what we actually feel, to push down our feelings. And eating food, especially if you eat a lot of food at one time, it could stuff down or push down your feelings. So you're just repeating the same pattern. So it doesn't matter on, you know, how many diets you go on or how many personal trainers you have. If you've associated eating certain foods to meeting your needs, you're always going to have trouble feeling free in your body again. Basically, you're always going to have trouble with your weight. And it's not you know, you're better looking if you're, no, it's about being free in yourself. It's about feeling the energy. It's about feeling natural, whatever that is for you and your body type. Does that make sense? By show of hands?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
So this is not shaming. Some people think it's shaming. It's actually being free, actually being loving yourself enough to be yourself, whatever that is for naturally you. So in fact, so a lot of women run this pattern of putting everybody else first and themselves last. By show of hands, who knows what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Someone's hand went up really fast when I said that. Right. And in fact, you know, we had this culture where, you know, put yourself first. You got to be like men now. You know, put your career first. But that's and career might be great for you. You might love your career. But if you've been told to put your career first, and that's not who you naturally are, then you're still doing something for somebody else. Maybe for culture, for mommy, or for daddy, or to feel like you're special or whatever. And in fact, most modern women prioritize work first, and then relationships, meaning, you know, putting other people first, and then themselves last. Okay, true or false, ladies?
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
Sure. I like the honesty. That's good. Molly, you want to say something?
We have a message from Brooke.
Is that wrong? Yeah. Nothing is right or wrong. It's whatever is natural to you. If naturally you're like that, naturally, go for it. Go for it, 100%. But for most people, or for most women, I find it's not. And they might like it, but it's not their number one thing. That's why usually women in their early 40s, they start going, I'm going to put myself first now. And I don't know the statistics, but I believe that's when a lot of divorces happen or start to happen. Is that why people are still single? Yeah. So I'm not sure about you know, the generation of well, no, you were part of the what's it called, the women's movement, right? So yeah, so some people, that is, I believe that is the reason why some women are single, because they're prioritizing career first, not to pay the bills, but because they're saying, okay, I have to be significant, I have to be certain, I could do anything a man could do and better. And that's not right or wrong, but just look at what's happening in yourself first. I'm not shaming anybody here. I'm explaining what I see and what's actually happening. So yes, so some women go, I don't need a man. I'm just going to focus on my career, because in my career, I think I feel significant. I feel like I matter, and I think I feel certain, and I think this and I think that. And some people are holding themselves back because they have those blocks in their head of how they think they should be, and they're not, and that's not who they really are. And some women even go, they buy, cats and dogs, and they and they put all their love in them, and that's great. But if that's a substitution for a partner,
Right. Yeah.
that's where the pain comes in. Cheryl, sorry.
No, that's a fact. That one there, the cats and the dogs and stuff, because it fills that need. No, this is a great conversation. Yeah, I think you can burn yourself out helping others and all. You got to take care of you too, because if there's not a balance in there, it's not a good thing. So there's got to be a balance,
Right. That's right. Really good. And balance, sometimes people think it's 50-50. It's whatever's natural to you. That's why it's so important to know yourself. And then in your career, if you're doing this and it's not natural to you and you're stressed out, what happens when you come home and you're stressed out and your partner sees you, husband or wife, whatever it is, and your partner sees you, and you're like this, right? Of course there's no passion. Of course it's not growing. Of course it's not going anywhere. And then, I'm bored, and relationships suck, and relationships are boring, relationships are this, and it's not. They don't have to be. They can actually be fun. When
There's
you're
a comment
living,
in the
sorry, go ahead.
Brooke has a comment.
What is the comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you believe that in their career they have a level of control as opposed to relationships? It's in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And isn't this what was part of the women's movement? And the women's movement is great in the sense women couldn't even vote so many years ago. That's like ridiculous. So they wouldn't even consider it a human, I believe. I can't even believe that even happened. That's crazy. So a lot of those movement and those rights really did help everybody. But it's where they start saying, woman, be like a man, because you can't trust a man. You can't trust them. So you have to make your own money and be significant and be in control, so you don't have to rely on somebody else. And I get it. I totally get it. I think everybody should be self-sufficient. But if it's to the point where you don't trust anybody, I found you're hurting yourself. Because for a man or a woman, there needs trust in a relationship. And you have no control in a relationship. You have influence at best, no control. Brooke, I'll come to you in a second for sure. And if you control the person, anybody see a woman try to control their man? Right? And you're like, wow, the man will never leave them. But how is their relationship?
Not good.
Not good.
Someone's
You can't-
unhappy.
You can't do
happy.
that.
How's their sex life? Their sex life, not yours. Their sex life. It sounded like I said your.
It's bad.
Right? But they'll never leave because they're a puppy dog, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's necessarily true. That's Stephanie, because I know someone who the wife was very controlling. She gave him a 9 p.m. curfew.
Wow.
If he went home by 9, she called him 9:05 to find out where he was, if he wasn't
Wow.
working his second job. And they're getting a divorce.
Yeah, that sounds like
Exactly.
a trust thing. Yeah, trust
That's
thing.
exactly what I
yeah.
was saying. That's right,
Good
Steph.
time.
That's right. That's exactly what I was saying. Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of women do this, but men do this as well. Those controlling men, they try to control you so you don't leave. And you might not leave. You might not. But where's the passion? Where's the fulfillment? You're never actually living like that.
Right. Yeah.
Right? How do we get on this subject? Oh yeah, so Brooke, I think you asked a question, or you raised your hand to ask another question.
I have a question as far as when you say about, the feminist movement and women saying, okay, I can do it just as good as a man can do it, so I'm going to go ahead and get it done. I would say only my perspective has not been, oh, I can do it just like a man. I have learned to say, I don't want to change a tire on the side of the road. So can somebody please come and help me? Because I don't want to do that. Or if I'm at a function and I have to move a table. I shouldn't have to move this table when you have able-bodied men standing around. However, I have seen where men are standing around and women have to come and do it anyway. I remember, and I'll try to keep it short because I know that we're on a time constraint. But as far as I remember, my car went in a ditch. I was making a presentation. I backed out. My car went in a ditch. You had able-bodied men that were standing around, but it was the women who came out and they said, we can move this car.
Gosh,
And I looked at
that's
them
a shame.
and I knew because I said, I know we as women, we'll get together. That's a way out. We put a barn up. We got the people out of debt. This is what we do. And I said,
Mhm.
no. I said, you should not have to do this. And they
No.
all looked at me. I said, no, AAA is going to come. That's why I paid them the money. But you don't have to turn around and get my car out of a ditch when you have men that are standing around. So in my case, I work at my career because I said, you know what? I'm going to make the best opportunity for myself. And it's unfortunate that people don't approach me, men don't approach me. And I don't know, maybe it's because I look a certain way. I heard you say about the inflection and the tone in your voice and the energy that you can give off. But I try to make sure when I go out, I'm like, hello, how are you? I try to be very Southern, but I just get this look of they look, don't respond, or they look past me. And so I've come to the conclusion of, hey, evidently then you're not interested in me, but I'm going to be okay with myself and make the best opportunity for myself. Now, I'm not going to say I don't like to be in control, so you are correct about that, but I do know how to take back and let somebody else lead if they're showing me that they're competent enough to do that. And I saw that example at home with my mom being a true caregiver for my dad and catering to his needs, but he in turn reciprocated that as well. So I just wanted to say that, but thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, men not helping. I'm not sure. Like, I know my generation, like, what is it, millennials and
You're right. Yeah.
and Gen X, I think it is after me. We're taught, no, us as women, like, don't help women because, and then, oh, you're sexist, you're this, and men get called all these different, like, derogatory names. Or you say this, or you're trying to help, or you think I can't do anything. And it's like, so men have been conditioned to, like, not help. Sometimes that's the reason why they're being conditioned to not help. They've been conditioned to not be men. They've been conditioned to be women. And then if you're a man, sometimes you're called a toxic man. And we both know the difference. A toxic man is a weak man. A toxic man is a weak man. A real man is a man that serves, that helps, that protects you, that's there for himself and there for his woman. And he wants to help women in general. That's what a real man is. That's masculinity, not this toxic masculinity bullshit. So there's that. But Debbie, Brooke, I also hear in your voice that there's a little bit of frustration, obviously. So I think you said, you when you go out, you try to be more Southern. So I'm not from the States, but I watched movies, so I know what you mean. But I think, Debbie, I think you said this before as well. We can't pretend to be somebody when we go out because the beliefs are still there. We can only act like it's surface level. We can still feel it and hear it. But we don't want to rely on a man because men can screw us over. I totally get it. That's why I said there's a certain amount of self-sufficiency. But if it's like, I gotta be in control and then I'll give you control if you're competent enough, but it's on my watch, then you're still playing the game. So nothing is gonna be 100% certain. Nothing in life, neither for a woman or for a man. But we focus on what we can do. And I believe being yourself and being free, that's where you feel the most certain. That's where you have the most power and the most influence in yourself and in your relationship. And whatever happens, you can move to the next stage or the next step more easily, as opposed to holding on so tight and always having to control. And then saying, why don't any, man or woman come up to me or whatever it is. Cool. Okay, so what happens in a relationship for both men and women? What happens in a relationship for both men and women when you're always putting their needs first and your needs last? You tell me what happens. You can yell it out.
Well, you can burn yourself out. You burn yourself out, not only that, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And you have nothing left. And when you're drained, you can't even think right. So how can you help anybody else? So point of the matter is you got to take care of yourself too. So
Right. Right. So some people, and I see this especially with women, they think that's selfish to take care of themselves. That's
Well,
selfish. It's actually the most selfless thing you could do. Because when you take care, Steph, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say again, I have same person, but there's somebody who like they I guess are just recognizing that they always go along with like what other people want. I guess they're really more of a follower and stuff. And it's had very bad consequences for them because that's how they say they ended up in a marriage that they knew they didn't want to go into and stuff, because quickly they were they were living with the person with their kids. I guess people made comments about it and said, you're living in sin with kids, that's not right, you should get married. So he brought up a discussion about marriage. She took it as a proposal, ran with it, and planned a wedding for 2 months later, and he never stopped her.
That happens,
and he went along, he kept going along with stuff.
Right.
And now he's getting a divorce after I think like 14 months.
Right.
Wow.
It's a shame.
There you go. And a divorce is hard financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. So it's like it's like one of the last things you want. So thank you for sharing that stuff. So yeah, so you feel burnt out and you're not there for yourself. When you take care of yourself, you're better able to give to other people. For all us helpers and givers here, taking care of yourself, you're better able to help other people. Better, more, because you have more fuel in you. It's not people thinking, no, I got to give to other people. Yeah, give to yourself so you can give more to other people. Remember that, more to other people. And also this culture, especially Gen X culture, which is a little bit, below after our generation, this culture of women trying to act like men and being these boss babes and having multiple sexual partners as a way to feel significant and in control doesn't solve the problem one bit. I believe it actually makes it a lot worse.
Sure. Right.
And if anybody here that has girls as kids, make sure they don't go in that trap, because they're just the young women are not happy. They look like they're happy, but they're not at all. I see it all the time. So for both women and men who run this exaggerated helper pattern, they believe that if they put everybody first and themselves last in such a significant way, people can't help but love them. Get it? By show of hands, who's run this pattern, is currently running this pattern, or maybe knows somebody who runs this pattern? By show of hands.
I know a friend who does, not me.
There we go. Yeah, a friend does. And Maria, where'd you go? I love seeing your face.
I'm still here.
Okay, if you want to show your face, it's you're welcome. Very nice. And by nods, who here sees that when someone does that, when they put everybody first and themselves last, they actually just want to feel a loving connection? By show of hands. Okay, good. So the question is, by sacrificing yourself, does it actually ever give you the loving connection you actually crave?
No.
I don't think it did.
You don't think, or it doesn't?
It doesn't.
It didn't. And in fact, I'm not sure how to say it. Sometimes I don't know if that's this might be totally off, but I seen that, and yes, they put a lot of effort into it and everything else, but this person is actually a little bit like has some really deep down issues. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying? And that's not really good. And then you see some of the anger strikes and everything else that come out along with that. And I'm not sure what that is, or if they're just, I don't know.
Resentment.
Anyway.
Resentment.
Yeah.
That's right. But the thing is, they're doing it to themselves. And what I mean by that is they have the power to change that by just being themselves. Right? So a helper is not bad. A helper is great. It's the exaggerated helper pattern. But if help is natural for you and you feel so filled up and you want to give, like Molly, you said when you were listening to music and you feel so filled up, that's when you want to give the most, right? There we go. That's an example. So even if people think you're such a nice person, for anybody here, you're such a nice person, does it even matter at this point? When you feel so drained all the time and exhausted, right? How exhausting has it been all these years to play this role that's not even you? The pattern probably helped you in the past, so we can pat ourselves on the back, for that, because it probably helped us. We were the good little girl or the good little boy or whatever, and we got significance by that, and we equated that to love and connection. But do we still need to do that now, since we're all 35 years old now? Do we still need to do that?
No.
Do we still need to run this exaggerated helper pattern, or can we just be ourselves, whatever that naturally is? Exaggerate or just be ourselves?
Just be ourselves.
Be ourselves, right? And
Mhm.
and someone even wrote to me. She goes, and can we help people because that's who we are, while still loving ourselves and having boundaries? Can we still do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a really good one. I really liked when I heard boundaries. Yes,
There we
sometimes you
go.
have to have. Yeah, that's really good. Whoever said that, because I was going to mention I didn't want to go. I wasn't sure where you were on stuff, but sometimes those boundaries are really important. So that's really
Exactly.
good. Go ahead.
Yes, and boundaries doesn't mean screw off. It means this is
No.
me. This is what I respect, and this is me, and the other person respects that, and you have boundaries. So I had someone that wrote to me, and I asked their permission if I could use what they wrote to me. They said, I get boyfriends who believe they are entitled to invade my privacy, hiding cameras in my house and hacking my phone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did she run? I would have.
Well, so what she said, yeah, she wrote, when I find out, I just politely break up. How can I spot a secure gentleman? So it sounds like this person, it's good that they got out, but it sounds like this person, if they're always finding boyfriends like that, it's probably because they're doing something or believing something. It sounds like this person is running a pattern of putting everybody else first and themselves last, and doesn't feel in control of their life by doing that. Then, for example, this woman finds a guy who acts so strong and in control, that toxic masculinity we were talking about, which is an act on behalf of the guy to try to feel so significant and certain. And the woman feels attracted to that. Because, and listen to this, one of the things that creates attraction between two people is called trait variety. So when the other person has traits you don't have, for example, someone's good at, let's say, the computer, like that kind of computer, maybe books, introvert kind of thing, right? And someone else is maybe better, they're maybe physically strong, so they're better at doing physical things, going out and working in a physical job or hunting back in the day or whatever. So that's trait variety, and that gives us a better chance of survival. So someone who's physically strong will go for someone who is, for example, mentally smart. And mentally smart, they'll go for someone who's physically strong because it's trait variety. They have a better chance at survival. So when someone's always putting everybody else first and themselves last, and they feel so insignificant and so uncertain, they sometimes go for these toxic masculine men who portray what they think is significance and certainty. But they're not. They're just weak men. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. and you're right, but the biggest thing is you got to get to know the person, because in time you will recognize that may all not be true. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So it takes time to get to know the person.
Takes a little bit of time. Yeah,
for sure.
Gotcha.
And when you get to know the person, if you're seeing those rah traits, I'm always in control, and you're attracted to that, that's feedback for something you're experiencing yourself, something you're believing. Where have you repressed that in yourself? That's why being yourself is so important. So you see the red flags and they ring the alarm when you see them. And then you're just like, I don't like that. But if you're always putting yourself down, yourself last, that's gonna feel certain. It's gonna feel comfortable to you. That's gonna feel certain to you. That's gonna feel like it's like good survival to you. That's why it's about with yourself first. So when I work with people, it's always themselves first. So as you break this pattern, you'll reconnect with yourself, which will help you see these guys, women, men and women's actions for what they really are, and find what's really true, a real true gentleman or a true woman. But if you feel like this pattern has been giving you more pleasure than pain, keep doing it. But maybe, just maybe, you're starting to wonder, do I even need to do this pattern anymore? Or can I just be myself now? The next pattern. I'm a black belt karate master. I got the best grades. I own 3 successful businesses. I have the most expensive car. I got the best clothes. And oh yeah, all 3 of my kids are U of T and in your case, Harvard graduates as doctors, lawyers, and accountants. Sound familiar? Right? That's the achiever, the forever performer who believes that they must earn their worth or earn their love by being a somebody, meaning by achieving, right? So achieving, like having goals is great because that helps you grow, and growth is life, and that's where we feel alive. But having to achieve in order to feel like a somebody, in order to kind of feel like you're worth love and connection, that's where the pain comes in. It's not right or wrong. That's just where the pain comes in. And I think, I was talking about career before. That's what some people think. If I'm a career, then I have a certain position, I'll be significant. I'll be worth it. I'll be an achiever, and I'll be worth it. And I get to earn love and connection. How does it feel I think it's all women here, yeah. But how does it feel for all of you here when a man thinks that his worth is based on what he achieves? How does that feel in a relationship? Yeah.
What
Exactly.
he achieves? Nah. Yeah.
When he's like, you gotta achieve, you gotta be somebody, his worth is only based on what he achieves. Right?
Wow, that's not good.
That's not good, right? Molly, how do you Molly, yeah.
Only because I've had that experience a lot of times. It has felt to me that they're really hiding, because somewhere in there, if you unpeel the layers of the onion, it's that am I enough?
Yeah.
Fight.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you. Exactly. Perfect.
Mhm.
And then if any of your women here, if you do that in yourself, you feel how that feels as well, right? So usually growing up, these people got attention, significance by achieving. And especially as kids, we need attention, usually to survive. So again, having goals and achieving them is great because growth is life. But having to do it, that's where the pain comes, and that's what's unnatural. And you may see this in a relationship with a man doing this or a woman doing this. And with many modern women, many of them tend to put work first because they want to achieve and be worth it, like men are worth it, even if it's not natural to them, as we already talked about. Women might even try to achieve to make their daddy proud, to get love from them. Molly, you've experienced this, right? To make daddy proud. Because that's what daddy believes, right? That's what men believe. So they transfer that to their woman. And I think that's especially in North American culture. So what happens in a relationship when you put work before relationships and before yourself, even if that's not natural to you? What happens in a relationship? You tell me.
What, if you're putting work and everything first before your relationship?
Yeah, what happens?
It's not really good because I can see where you're not to have enough time. I can see where they might want to do other things, or maybe, not being so involved.
Right. There you go. Exactly. So again, the question is, does achieving actually give you the love and connection that you crave?
No, just like I hate to say, even I'm not trying to be, go on the other side, on the flip side, but yes, men can make a whole ton of money and be at all these things, but you know what? When it's all said and done, Are they really happy in their life? Some of them are not.
Right.
Some are totally because they just don't have enough for their family. The mother, I hate to say, is holding everything to glue together.
Right.
Just saying,
That's right.
so it goes on the flip side. So, sometimes that's all not so important, I should say,
There you go.
in the
Again,
sense. Just saying.
very good. So the question is, do we still need to run this pattern anymore? Or can we just be ourselves? So the next pattern, the third one, is the individualist. I'm so different and unique, and nobody truly understands me. And these people are significant by being so different and unique. The one whose taste is above everybody else's, and who sees and feels deeper than the rest of their shallow world. And these people, individualists, are beautiful souls, and because they're able to see and feel emotions that a lot of us don't allow ourselves to feel. And I'm saying they're beautiful souls because the individualist is in my top 3. That's why I'm saying that. But the problem is when there's an exaggeration of this pattern, when everything has to be so different and so unique, like getting tattoos, in places you don't even want to know, or piercings everywhere, or whatever it is, and they're doing it because they want to be significant. They've learned by being to be significant by being so different and unique, and they believe that gets them loving connection.
Oh.
Right. But here's the thing: it's not always from other people. They do it from themselves. Because the pain of feeling so disconnected from everybody else, that pain allows them to feel something. Similar to how a helper could eat certain foods to help them feel something. They feel such hurt and disconnect from being so different that pain gives them in some way a connection to themselves, because they're, again, actually feeling something. So woman, how do you feel when a man is so distant in a relationship because he feels like nobody understands him? How's that feel? But make a sound. Yeah, the sound of silence.
So what do you say? So they feel so distant. Go ahead. What do you say? So they feel so
Well,
distant.
they feel so distant because no one understands them. How does that feel in a relationship?
Well, that wouldn't be good. I think you have to work on it. I think you have to get to know this person, and he'll just eventually will just open up, and that's what, bring some coffee or something. So you actually listen. Maybe that's just the type of person they are, But after maybe they open up, I'm just saying, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. So can we be different and unique in our own natural way and still find people to connect with, even if it's 1 or 2 people? Can we do that?
Yes.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's yes, Brooke. Awesome. So there we go. So now, what's one thing that you learned from this presentation that you can implement in your dating life, relationships, and in yourself starting right now? What's one thing you could learn from this presentation that you can implement right now in your dating life, relationships, and in yourself? You could write it down or just think about it, and I'll ask. Brooke, what's one thing that you've learned that you can implement in your dating relationship life and in yourself starting right now?
I would say those categories that you gave earlier when you talked about the certainty, variety, and saying about whether or not if your relationships are meeting those things or your relationships are meeting your needs. So I think taking an assessment of each relationship and to see if whether or not those things are being met, and just not being a situation of saying, oh, well, it's meeting some of it, like where you ask people to put it on a range and to see, because ultimately that person may not meet all of those things every day, but they should be meeting those things within a period of time. Maybe you're not meeting something today, but that doesn't mean that you're going to keep not meeting that for the rest of the week or the whole month. They should at least be meeting those things so that way then it can meet your needs. I think the other thing is making sure being genuine. Since you said, well, if you're pretending to be a certain way, then people can feel that. I don't think that I pretend to be a certain way. I think that sometimes I do hide certain emotions, like when I'm annoyed. And I try to say, I'm tired. And when I get really tired, then you can see the annoyance coming out. But I do try to be genuine and sincere when I talk with people to try to form and develop relationships. It's just that I don't think that's always reciprocated on my end. So I'll make sure that those are things that I implement from today.
Very good, very good. And going to the 6 human needs, you would ask your partner, how certain do you feel in a relationship? How much variety do you feel? And if let's say certainty is low, you could say, well, what can I do on my end to help with certainty? What could I do on my end to add more variety? And then you do the opposite. And then once you meet each other's needs, then you say, I feel I get more certainty or more loving connection by, A, B, and C. So very good, Brooke. Awesome. Molly, what's one thing that you learned today that you could implement in your life starting right now?
Well, the first thing that came to me is when I'm, having the courage, to start conversating, with a man or with a man. I think I'd like to ask them, what is one of their top, needs, when it comes to dating and relationships and connection in their life. That's what came to me.
Very good. I like that. Very good. And Anneice, what's something that you learned today that you could implement in your life starting today, starting right now?
Starting right now, variety. That that is important to me, and to make sure that I have more of it. I have been thinking that was for, and I said this to someone before, that a lot of people think that's for teenagers, but a lot of us didn't have carefree teenager time either. And so I don't think I've ever had that where I just felt like I can do whatever, it doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter, but yeah, that I can implement more variety in my life.
Very nice. And how does that feel as you're saying it?
Good.
Very nice. Very nice. Good. And Steph, very nice. Thank you. And Steph, what's something that you learned today that you could implement in your dating life, relationship life, or in yourself starting right now?
I like what Molly said. I think that's a good one and stuff. And I like it too, because I guess a lot of times you start out and kind of be asking people kind of what are your, kind of weaknesses and stuff like that, things you need to work on in a relationship. And at least that kind of is positive and puts a positive, like, I guess in a sense, kind of spin on something. So instead of kind of being negative, by asking kind of, what are things you need to work on.
There you go. Very good. Where are you from, by the way? I know that accent. I just don't know where it's from.
Oh, I'm from New York City.
It's New York. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Good. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Steph. Cheryl, what's something that you learned today that you could implement in your life starting right now?
Yeah, I think I started touching base on some of that. The needs part. I really like that one because I you never, that's an important one. I think to know what somebody's, totally know what somebody's kinds of what their like top needs really are, and I do like that. And I do have one question for you, but I want to stop your questioning for everybody. So and how to see it like a little bit faster. But go ahead and my thing though, my answer is I would say that I would work on a little bit more on the needs part to see what they're looking for and what I'm looking for as far as the balance, if there
Right.
is a, yeah.
Right. Good. I like how you said me and them as well. That's good.
Yes.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Cheryl. And
Yeah.
Debbie, what's something that you learned today that you could implement in your life starting right now? Debbie? Nope, Debbie's not here. No problem. Go. And then just on your own time, for everybody here, you could even write down what's something else that you learned from today that you could implement in your life starting today. And then something else you learned. So you could just keep out what's something else I learned today, what's something else I learned today. So you could take as much as possible from this presentation and actually implement it in your life starting right now. So this is a little teaser of what I do with clients. It's all about breaking the patterns so you get back to who you really are, so you can finally feel the self-love again and have a better dating life, relationships, and feel more connected within yourself. I'm available to do presentations for your group as well, or company or organization. Just come to me after this presentation or call me or email me, and I'll see how I can give to you. I also offer one-on-one dating, relationship, and life coaching packages. The
Hmm.
first steps is a phone consultation, and then an in-person consultation or a virtual consultation if you're, non-Toronto, to see if we're a good fit to work together. I typically do packages as opposed to one-off sessions because I really want to get to the heart of what's really happening, and the goal is to get results, which I find happen better with packages. How much does it cost? The financial investment is unique to each person based on exactly what they're looking for, and we discuss that as step 2, which would be the in-person or the virtual consultation. Now, if you really learned about patterns and the first steps to actually breaking them, so you can live free from just our little time together, think right now of two of your friends. Thank you, Brian. Think right now of 2 of your friends or family members or people you work with who you also want them to feel secure in themselves, so they have a better dating life and relationships. Mm-hmm. And write down or picture in your head the first person that comes to mind. And then write down or picture in your head the second person that comes to mind. And if you feel they would really benefit from a phone consultation with me, let them know either by, you could text them or call them right after this presentation, and let them know to follow me on Instagram and to call me for their free phone consultation. My number's on my website, which you can get through Instagram, which I'll give you my Instagram in a minute, or by Googling Inspire Yourself Life Coaching. You can also see all my reviews as well. And make sure they tell me your name, that you refer them to me, okay? And any person that you refer that becomes my client, I give you a gift, either a gift card, or because everybody here is from out of the country, it would be an e-transfer as a thank you. And to get more free videos about breaking patterns, you can also pull out your phone right now, go to Instagram, and search dating _ love _ and the rest will come up. Or you can just go on the meetup and it's there as well. You can also follow me and message me there as well as getting free videos about feeling secure and confident in dating and relationships and weight loss. And as an extra gift to you, everybody that's here, message me on Instagram asking to take the free personality test. And I'm going to write up a free personalized report for you and just email it to you. Okay? Yeah, it's good. But just message me on Instagram for that. Cool. Questions. I think, Sherry, you had a question.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can answer this one or if anybody had ever came to this, but even you get to know a person, and it took a little while, about a year, I guess. But I saw personalities. How do you catch red flags a lot faster? Is there a way to catch those things? Meaning that maybe they came from I hate to say narcissist relationship, or they have some really deep rooted issues. And how can you catch that a lot faster? Or is there a way to?
Good question. So there's no one specific answer, but it takes,
sorry.
Yeah, no problem. It does take time and different experiences to really get to know a person, especially time. And when you see things, it's not about being incredibly, Brooke, I'll answer in a second. It's not about being incredibly suspicious all the time. It's not about that.
No, right.
Right. But it's about talking and getting to know people. It's called the vetting process of dating. Getting to really know somebody and seeing how they actually act, how they react to things. And don't kid yourself. Don't say, oh, they're going to change, or don't brush it off or whatever. And if you see or hear something, you could bring it up and say, I noticed this, and I just want to clear it up just to make sure, I understand what it is. And see from there. So I think it's also being talking, being communicative. And then in the end, I think we all have a good amount of experience with other people that we tend to pretty much know what red flags are based on experience. It's about listening to that, right, Anneice?
I agree. Yeah.
So it's about listening to that, by being like, I myself, and I feel great, and I feel I just feel like myself. And I notice when that stuff is happening. I'm not drawn towards, toxic people, let's say. Toxic people.
Yeah.
So does that help you, Cheryl?
Yeah, because I don't think you, if you see things like that and you can't really fix somebody, they have to kind of fix themselves, correct?
Yeah.
there's nothing you
100%.
really can do. Thank you. Okay,
You're
I got it. Thanks. Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Brooke asked the question. What was it, Anneice?
If you don't have Instagram, how else can she take the assessment?
Oh, by
Oh.
emailing me. So to find me, Google again, Inspire Yourself Life Coaching. You go on the homepage and at the and at the bottom of my homepage is there's my email. You can
Yeah,
email
and
me at it.
in the meetup, in the details on the meetup, all of his information is there. And I can forward it to you, Brooke, if you want, whatever you prefer.
It came right up. You came right up just to tell you, right?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Very good. Any questions? Thank you. Please.
Okay, I will.
And Brooke, anybody else that wants to take the test as well, just tell them to email me and just again tell them that you told them you referred them to me. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? All good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome,
You were lovely. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you, Anneice. Thank you, Giovanni.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Absolutely.
You're
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm so glad you stayed, and
You're welcome.
I know it was a couple of hours, and I think I enjoyed every second of it, and I enjoyed hearing what other people had to say and sharing so much about your lives with us and vulnerable moments. And I just feel like we became closer through this experience. So I'm so glad that you were all here, and I have these events at least once a month, something similar, but I don't know when we'll have Giovanni back. I don't know. It depends on whether he likes me or not. He told me we were enemies because I don't like gelato. So, but hopefully we'll have him back again. But thank you all so much for coming. And I'll just let you close, Giovanni, and then we can end the meeting.
Thank you. And again, I would love to connect with you. So if it's Instagram or email me, message me on Instagram. I love to stay in contact. And anybody else that that could get value from this, let them know about this, because there's so many people in pain. So let's do this together. Let's help people be themselves. Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Have the rest of your weekend. Bye, everyone.